Oak Casket, not to be confused with Mahogany Casket, is finally here. And so, is she any good in Path to Nowhere? Well, to answer this question, we must go back to her kit to analyze if she makes a good reticle sinner or not. So her kit is very interesting, as she not only has the role of a long range sinner, chipping away at the enemy's health while remaining safe and sound, but also has the ability to go in, deal some crazy high burst damage with her ultimate. And so speaking of her ultimate will have her teleport to a location, and upon arriving will deal AoE damage, firing her guns all over the place like she is trying to get the play of the game from Overwatch. This deals great damage, and you can store up to 3 charges of this. So yeah, it's really good. Although one thing to note about this is that it cannot deal core damage, as if it could, it would be stupidly good. Now her first passive is quite interesting. So for every point of energy she has, her damage will go up as well. So pretty much the longer that she does not use her ultimate, the more damage she does. So with this, it's almost like a balancing act between not using her ultimate for the passive, but also to, use her ultimate for the damage it deals. Where and when to use her ultimate is probably gonna separate the good Oak players from the great Oak players. The sort of obvious tip for this would be to use her ultimate in AoE situations as it deals AoE damage, but also to use it at the start of the battle so you can have it up again for the boss. Her second passive will increase the damage of her normal attacks, as well as granting them sweet energy restoration, which is also very nice, as this will help out not only with her normal attacks to deal more damage, which as a reticle sinner is really good, as a majority of their damage comes from normal attacks, but the energy restoration will also be very useful, as you'll want to trigger her first passive as much as possible, and so this will help a ton with that. She also, with her normal passive, will start the battle with full energy. So this is really nice. On most sinners this will be good, but on her it's so good, as it means you'll be able to take advantage of her first passive, straight away gaining a nice damage increase from the start of the battle, meaning on maps where you need to deal damage fast, like the broken frontline, she is really good. And you also have her ultimate with that AoE damage that you'll be able to use 3 times. So just really good. So overall her kit is really good. The only sort of negative is that lack of core damage. And so if you are gonna run her, then be wary of that and fill your team with sinners that can deal core damage, like the best waifu, Labyrinth. Now the last thing of note about Oak Casket is her exclusive crime rate. Is it worth getting? Yes. So it will have her enter a state in which her attack range will expand to cover the entire map, attacking any enemy on the map, which is firstly really cool, as she'll be able to be way back in your backline and not take any damage from any enemy, but she'll also gain a nice damage increase to her normal attacks, which is again really nice, as that's where a majority of her damage will come from. The only downside to this exclusive crime rate is that she loses 3 energy per second, and once she runs out of energy it will be over. Now seeing as her ultimate is 30 energy per, then that means, using quick maths, it will take about 30 seconds to use all her energy, as she has 3 charges, remember? But that's also if you only normal attack and don't move her or use her ultimate or something like that. And so overall, Oak Casket is an incredibly strong reticle sinner whose ability to output large amounts of consistent damage and burst damage with her ult is honestly unmatched, but the lack of core damage will require a keen eye when it comes to team building. And so should you summon for Oak? Probably. She's really good and a great replacement for your reticle sinner, especially when needing damage. The only thing to keep in mind is, well, the god is coming. Yes, Deren is on her way, and so if you don't have too many primo gems to summon for both Oak and Deren, I would highly recommend you wait until Deren, as Deren is someone who just deals monstrous amounts of damage. But if you really like the sound of Oak, then please summon for her. And if you do, I wish you all the best in your summons, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.